This is Lisa Steinberg with Starry Constellation Magazine. I am joined today by Aiden Howard, and we are going to talk about the Tubi film, How to Lose a Popularity Contest.
Boom.
Nailed it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so happy to have you here and get a chance to chat with you about this fun film.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. Super stoked.
Pleasure. We're talking about the movie. It's going to be out here shortly, but I'd love to hear a little bit about how you kind of got involved with the project. Something that
Yeah,
kind of just
so
passed your way, or were you familiar with anybody, part of the film already or attached?
I got the audition kind of just in my email like normal, but I recognize the director's name because I'm a really big Martin McDonagh fan, and Stephen Campanelli is like one of the like premier camera ops in the world as well. He's like on Clint Eastwood's personal team. He did like A cam on the bridges of Madison County, Three Billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. So like some of my favorite movies. So I was really excited and I definitely asked him a lot of questions during lunches and stuff because someone like that has sat in on some of like the greatest shots ever achieved. So it's pretty dang cool.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well pick his brain if you've got like the highest caliber
Yeah,
guy in the business right at your
big time.
disposal, right there.
Big time. He didn't disappoint. He is the man.
I guess just then I would assume that learned a lot, at least from picking his brain and getting to sit and get a little bit more in depth with him about those other projects.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just cool to hear how many different processes there are. And when he was directing there's just some beautiful shots in the movie. It's shot really well because he's just got such an eye for it.
What kind of breakdown then did you receive about your character, Charlie Streaker DuPont? Is there
Yeah.
anything that really kind of resonated with you too about him when you started to look into his background?
I mean, at first glance, because I didn't get the script right away, I just got I think there was three scenes that we auditioned for him. And it was kind of like his dad's not in his life and he's got like a larger than life personality. Kind of. And then also mention the fact that he gets his nickname from the fact that he takes his clothes off and runs around, convinced everyone wants him to do it. And I was like, okay, that's a pretty good jumping off point. I feel like I have an idea for who this is.
A little bit of life of the party, a little bit American Pie, a little bit of this is, high,
Big time.
teens, movie,
Yeah, little bit of Stifler, a little bit of that kind of stuff. There's a movie from the late 90s where I can't remember what it's called, but all the hair and makeup girls were saying it reminded them of this guy in this movie wears like yellow goggles on top of his head.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah. The one that has Jennifer Love Hewitt, and I'm trying to think
yeah,
of, and it has Ethan Embry, and I'm trying to think of what that name of the movie. Yeah, yeah. T Tipping my age, I know exactly what you mean.
yeah, I can't
I know
remember
the
what it's
movie,
called.
but my brain is just not working and to click what the name of it is. My brain is just going, she's all that, but I know it's definitely not she's all that. But
Yeah, yeah.
I
No, but it's
know.
like that. We'll find it out by the
Yeah,
end of
yeah.
the
And the
interview.
guy with the goggles on the head is actually Seth Green.
Yeah, exactly. Who I knew from Entourage.
Can't
But
hardly wait. Is the name of the
yes,
movie.
that is it. So kind of a little bit of that guy too, but it's just such a fun character.
Yeah, those are the guys that you kind of want to gravitate towards, but you don't know what's lying underneath them. There's a lot of, like reasons why the way that they want to be the reflected and seen as the party guy or the guy who's like the life of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I like as I got deeper into Streaker, I realized it's kind of this idea that if you get everyone's attention, then maybe you won't notice the fact that you don't have the attention from the one person you want it from, i.e., his father. So it's a never-ending battle of there's not enough attention in the world to fix something like that.
Yes, And again, yeah, he reminds me of a lot of those characters. Yeah, like you said, like the '90s flashback guys. But those are also guys that still obviously are, are quite transcendent. There's always going to be that guy
Yep.
who's at the party, who's like the loudest or the party animal or the guy that's getting at like everybody like, oh, I see you sitting in the corner. Like, why don't you get up? Come on, let's like do. Like there's always some guy that's going to be at the party that's trying to get like everybody amped, and you just like, why are you like so invested in like what is this party, like the best party of your life? Like what do you like what's the reason why you're like you're like amped like this? And yeah,
Yeah, it's so true. And what I liked about Streaker though is he's quite pure of heart. Like Nate starts running for president, and it's like he's like, once I find out I can print stickers and throw a party for his campaign, I'm in. Like he's just quite supportive of his friends. And even when he's at the table in the scene when he's inviting Sarah's character to the party, he's not like rude. He's just like, I don't know you, so I'm not going to invite you. He's just kind of aloof, just living in his own world.
I know you said you kind of did the audition and you got the breakdown a little bit first and then subsequently the script. But when you did start reading the script, and we kind of maybe probably already touched a little bit about this, but when you started reading the script, what stood out to you about either your character, how he was maybe written, or the tone of the film and the overall arc and themes within?
Yeah. I think on a macro level of the film, I liked the through line of every character in their own way wants to be seen as more than what they're taken for at face value. Like each character kind of has their thing, but they know within themselves there's so much, they have so much more to offer, or they want to be seen in this new light. But when you're in high school, stepping out of your lane is like one of the scariest things to do. So I really resonated with that, especially like when I was in high school. I think it's really special to get to come do these high school movies after I've graduated high school because you kind of get like a second crack, like with the wisdom and knowledge you know now. You get to be like, what lesson do I want to kind of impart to someone who's maybe going into high school? Um, and then, I mean, I was the the script's like candy for an actor, especially like I love doing comedy and kind of improv stuff. And Caitlin and Dorian wrote such a funny script. Like I was like, rarely do you laugh out loud when you're reading a script, but it was genuinely funny and it had heart. And I was like, okay, I just jump in every like 10 pages and do something ridiculous. And then I come back another 10 pages later. And I kept like circling the scenes because I was like, oh, I can't wait to film that one. Can't wait to film that scene. So I was pretty excited when I got to read the script. And I think it balances rom with com very well. I think the movie has a lot of heart, which I really enjoy.
Yeah, it's quite interesting to see literally having a new lens to be able to film a high school movie after having come through your own high school experience because like there's so many labels that people get when you're in school. You're like jock, you're the nerd, you're the girl who's the bully, or you're the, the emo person. Like there's always something like somebody wants to label you as. And then
Yeah.
like you said, sort of it's kind of hard to see outside of that shadow sometimes, or it's hard to see someone else's perspective when you're going through that tunnel, that high school like absolute like incredibly like like your hormones, your maturity, every like all of that stuff at the same time, like you're becoming the person who you will be as an adult, and you learn this like the most about yourself in these moments, and that's what I also like about high school moments is that it gives you that coin flip from you obviously recognize yourself or you recognize someone that you know, but then you get to see the lens through their perspective along with your own perspective, so you kind of get a duality there.
Yeah. Absolutely. Because, like, even you see it sometimes, some amazing students in high school have this confidence and this ability to totally break from that mold. But then you see people maybe give them a hard time, and that's when, bullying comes. But it's rarely dastardly, but it's usually like those people so desperately wish they had that confidence to go do the thing. So then what do? They try and tear that person down. Um, and everything when you're in high school just feels like the biggest deal ever. And you just, I'm sure you feel this way. Like, I wish I could just go back to myself and be like, it's so not a big deal, dude. Like, you're not even gonna remember this.
Absolutely. I mean, it's always like, oh, if I fail this test or if I put, you put pressure on yourself because of this responsibility and this and that, and you just look back and you're like, why did I do that to my, like, why was I subjecting myself to that stuff when
Yeah.
it's like, in the broader scope of things, like when I go to work, is my boss ever going to go like, wow, she had a, 3.3 GPA or, she got suspended because she was acting up in math class one time. Like it's not
Yeah.
those
It's
are,
so
like,
true.
or, like the one time that let yourself go and do like something crazy or like those are the times that you remember the most, but those are the times also later on in life when you recall those, then they reflect back to you and you're like, that was such a different bubble.
Yeah.
That was
It's
such
a
a like,
special little world.
yeah, exactly. High school is like it's not a big deal, but then when you go back and you think about it and like you said, like you're like you wonder like why you felt that way. Like
Yeah,
why
yeah.
was it like the most influential moments of your adolescence?
Absolutely.
We talked a little bit about the incredible team, both the directing and the writing side of the film. I wanted to talk a little bit more about what really kind of has impressed you about the collaborative production and writing teams that are a part of this film, as well as you also talked a little bit about the director as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the team, top to bottom, was one of the best teams I've worked with. Like everyone from Tubi and then Great Pacific Media in Vancouver as well. They're all so supportive. Like the producers on set were like involved and they know what's going on and they care about the story. And when the big bosses care, it just like invigorates you. You're just excited because you're like, it's this totally collaborative environment. And this movie really felt that way. And then when you're given like two leads, like Chase and Sarah, it's just the cherry on top because they were so warm and inviting and kind. And this entire cast, we got lucky. Like when you cast seven people in the same age, you don't necessarily know what's going to happen. Like you don't know if everyone will vibe. And we just hit the lotto that we all actually ended up really becoming good friends. Like after we finished, we all went and rented an Airbnb in Seattle and went to one of Chase's shows and like went out on stage with him and we all went like we genuinely like care about each other and it made it so much fun on set and Caitlin and Dorian came and visited the writers. They were on set for about a week. So it was, I think, I can only imagine as a writer, it's pretty exciting to, you write something out in your mind's eye and then to like stand there in the halls of like McMahon High and see like Nate and Streaker in real life. Like, I bet that would be a real trip. But it was such a special team. Everyone was the absolute best.
I've seen a little bit of things shared through Instagram and like social posts, and it just seems like such a wonderful, like supportive, like really fun bunch of people who loved this moment in time and getting to share the screen together behind and off the screen actually.
Yeah, big time. And I think when people watch it, that's the kind of artistic X factor that you can't throw money at and you can't plan for is that true chemistry. And I think it's gonna totally bounce. I think you'll be able to really feel how much fun we had making this movie.
I mean, you all are such a young ensemble cast, and you're portraying high schoolers. And was there anyone that you got to work with that either maybe you were close with before, or you got to become closer with because of being a part of the project together? Seems like everyone, obviously,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
basically. But is there anyone maybe like in particular that you kind of maybe either bonded with or got closer with getting to work from the film?
Yeah, I only knew one person before, and it was Kira LaRue, who I did one of my, I think it was the first ever like episodic TV show gig I ever did. It was a Netflix show called Firefly Lane, and Kira had this really great character in it. I was in, I think, two or three episodes, not much, but I remember back then, like 3 years ago, thinking she was really great. And so I was really excited when I saw that she was coming to the table read because she's a really great actress. And then everyone else, it was my first time meeting them. And like we've both said multiple times, we all became really, really great friends. And everyone brought so much to each of their characters. Like we sat at the table read and everyone was just kind of like, whoa, everyone's totally in their zone. They know who this person is and they're bringing so much to it. And it just turned, I mean, I could wax on for hours, but it's really incredible what everyone was able to do. And I'm really proud of every performance in it.
I'm a big fan of Sarah's from getting to watch her in Ginny in Georgia. Speaking of high school experiences and of things like that. So,
Yeah, I mean,
uh,
Sarah is one of the most impressive humans I have ever met. She is so talented and kind and warm and funny. She's probably the funniest person I know. And she writes musicals and then she sings all of the demos for them. Like it's you just sit and talk with Sarah and you're like, yeah, I am a shell of talent compared to you. But it was really fun watching her work because she really is brilliant.
I love also that you touched upon before too is that like you said that this film has a really great balance of rom and com. It's not just like 80/20. It's got like that great balance, natural balance of it as well. And I think that's something that will be a really great um a really great draw for the film for people who get to watch it through Tubi is because Tubi is such a wonderful network that it's inclusive, but it also brings you like the heartwarming, it's got like a little bit of like and it's got comedy. It's got like everything that you're gonna like watch on Hallmark, but you're gonna watch on Lifetime TV, but you're gonna watch on
Yeah.
like all of these like things. What do you think it is that makes Tubi such a really wonderful platform for this film?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, the fact that it's free is amazing. The fact that it's just can be reached by anyone. I love the idea
The
that
accessibility, yeah.
there's no reason someone shouldn't be able to interact with it. So that makes me really happy, especially because it's aimed at high school kids. And I know when I was in high school, I wasn't absolutely crushing it financially. So the fact that anyone can watch it is such a treat. Because you have movies come out and my grandma's like, "What's it on?" I'm like, "Disney Plus." She's like, "I only have Netflix." I'm like, okay,
I,
the Netflix show
exactly.
comes out in 6 months. Then you can see
You're
that
paying your
one.
$20 or whatever for Netflix, and you can only have the one account, and then you have Disney, and you have Paramount Plus, and you have Apple, and you have all the like 20 different platforms that you have to pay for. But Tubi is the one that makes everything accessible to everyone across the board.
Yeah, so I think it's such a nice home for it in that sense that it can just spread like wildfire. Oh, I watched this movie. It was great. You should watch it. Oh, I don't want to pay. It's free. Okay. Sweet. I'm in. And I mean, from everyone I've met from Tubi while working on it, they're all just like in it for the right reasons. Really, really kind, nice people who are super warm. So I'm a fan.
I love them because I'm a fan of the show Winona Earp, and they were able to bring it back and iterate in an iteration of itself. It started on like the Sci-Fi Network, and then it was on for a few seasons, and then it got canceled, and then like they kind of picked it back up and made a movie version iteration of the series.
Oh,
And
cool.
like you said, like it's so accessible to everyone. It's all you need is a computer. You don't need to have you don't have TV, you don't need to have a subscription. You don't, like you said, across the board, everybody is able to watch it, and that way, when you say like, "Hey, I watched this movie on Tubi. It's free. You can go watch it right now," instead of being like, "Well, like you said, you don't have a subscription to this," or "Can I share your password to be able to watch this?"
Yeah, if you're not going to watch my movie, you have to look me in the eyes and say, I don't want to watch it because there's no more excuses.
Exactly. It's free for gosh sakes. But yeah, that's what endears me to the network Tubi as well, is that, I love that they picked up the show Winona Earp, but I also love like we're talking about how accessible and how diverse the selection is that they have.
It's so diverse. It's amazing. Like there is something for everyone on Tubi. Really is. And also like I'm a big, okay, maybe not big because then you might start quizzing me, but I'm a pretty big film buff and like they've got great classic movies on there too. And just like this whole catalog is so diverse. It's truly incredible. And I am not getting paid to say that.
Will you be doing anything coming up then for the release of the film in kind of celebration, or just to, tune in and crack a watch yourself?
Yeah, I'm in LA right now. And I'm staying with Chase and we're going to the Fox lot in like 4 hours and we're doing a screening in a little bit here. And then they are renting out a pizza place in New York for a premiere party, but I'm going on a ski trip because it's been planned for a while, so I can't make it. But that's gonna be awesome. But I am gonna get to watch it today with Chase and a bunch of other people, so that'll be super fun.
That's wonderful. It's always so much. I think it's just much more fun to get to watch it when you're with the people you get to make it with, just because you
Big
get to see like, oh, so remember when we were doing like this, or this is how this turned out when, I was so worried about like how this was gonna look, or like you get to kind of like see it piece together.
Big
Um,
time. Sarah has said that, and we all agree, we got to get on Zoom and we're all going to press play at the same time so that we can interact because, we're all off filming different things now. It's so hard to get together, but we all really, because, yeah, it's exactly like you're saying. You're remembering, oh my gosh, we shot that in the oneer and we kept messing up that one line. That's so funny.
Remember
It's
when it was
definitely,
midnight and we were, so tired, but like you guys were like playing off each other, and we had that one funny moment, or yeah.
yeah. It was the most fun I've had on a project to date. Genuinely, like every day was an absolute, it was just so joyful and fun. It was the best time.
Is there anything that you have coming up that you're going to be working on next, or maybe something that fans can look out for coming up?
Yeah, I'm in season 2 of Percy Jackson and my character got introduced in episode 3 really briefly, but my main part of it is in episode 7, which comes out tonight. I believe like Wednesdays the show airs. So that'll be fun. I have some fun stuff to do there. And then I just finished filming a fun little part in the pilot of a new Netflix show that I can't quite say anything about yet, but that'll be out in the summer. So yeah, couple things.
All right, that means we're gonna have to regroup and circle back when that comes around, because I'd love the chance to chat with you about that again, of course.
Yeah,
Whenever you're down.
absolutely.
Awesome. So we have How to Lose a Popularity contest coming out very shortly, and we'll keep an eye out for you and Percy Jackson here tonight, and then
Yeah,
we'll hold on and wait for the circling back for the summertime to see you in whatever Netflix project, and get to chat again, hopefully.
awesome. Sounds great, Lisa.